I remember when I watched Malcolm X on the airplane. It really fucked me up. That was one of those movies where you get up from your seat or you leave the theater, which is the old saying, um, and you feel moved. You feel like something just happened. Spoiler alert, but near the end when that kid got shot, oh my god, that was like boom. And I wasn't even sad because I only knew the guy for 2 hours. I know it's a movie. I'm not that immature. But one of those movies where it's like, wow, that was like a drug. I felt like I had taken something for the first time and I really felt something. And to me, that's what a movie should be. Um, you know, I watched Platoon and I watched American History X. And I loved the flashbacks, black and white, especially the scene where he's talking to this guy who's dating his mother. In other words, having sex with his mother or planning on it, and they have it out, and he ends up getting violent, and he gets out all this hatred and this fear, and it's so real. He's so unfiltered. When somebody's angry, you have to understand when somebody's angry, they unfilter themselves. Because when you're polite, you have to hide things. You're behind a mask, you know? You want people to like you, right? And when he gets like that, and he's like, what are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove, son? And it's like, wow, that's a good fucking scene. It's a good scene. Like, I just watched Heroes of Telemark, an old World War II film with Kirk Douglas. And there's a scene where his character seduces his ex-wife, manipulates her. You know, and he's allowed to because he has charm. He's kind of good looking. Not that I'm interested. Fuck off. But, you know, they put people in movies that look good, that are good looking. You're not going to put an ugly person on the screen. That's not going to captivate the audience. That's not going to keep them in. They won't be interested. You know what I mean? But the movie was good. Loved the flashbacks. Loved the story. Loved seeing this guy's progress. Right after his father died, up until he goes to prison. And that scene when he tells the guy, put your teeth on the curb. It's like, holy shit, what is wrong with you? That is completely unnecessary. I couldn't watch that. That was hard to watch. And even though it was completely violent, I didn't expect for the result to be the result. I thought he would just lose a couple teeth. That's, I guess I'm just innocent that way. But the other part was when he was in prison. Can't remember his name, but when the guy with the buzz cut, when he was in prison, I realized how he changed. It wasn't that he was hit in the head. It made me think of Sam Kinison and Roseanne Barr really getting hit in the head. I had the same thing. Happened to me 3 times. But it was the fact that he wanted a new family. He wanted another family. He saw how his first one got broken apart. He wanted that never to happen again. And that's what being a skinhead was. I'm in a family that will never get torn apart ever again. I want this to last for as long as it can. And he saw how one of the members, when he was in prison, you saw how they, and I loved how the tattoos were clearly made out of Sharpie. That was so funny to me. But he saw that a skinhead was doing business with a non-skinhead. I don't know if it was a Mexican, whoever it was. It's like, you can't do that. There's this disloyalty and dishonor and disrespect, and he saw how the family was being torn apart. And if you're not going to be tied together in prison, then you never will be. You know? He saw the truth. And that made him see everything differently. And then he befriended, he became friends with a black guy. Just a normal guy. You know? Just be human. Be human, maybe. And the next thing I watched was Platoon. I watched Platoon with Charlie Sheen, and there's a scene with Johnny Depp, and of course Willem Dafoe is in there, and then there's that guy who looks like a burn victim. Who else is in that movie? There's so many. There's the guy from Good Morning Vietnam, that fat black guy. There's the guy with the golden tooth. I don't know his name. Who else was in that? I'm trying to think. That's most of them. The movie was good, but it goes to show that you don't have to be a macho guy to be a good soldier. You saw Charlie Sheen as this wimp, and he was in there being a human being. There was a scene with the kid, and he's like, that thing's a human being. He's talking about this child, this girl, is a human being. He's like, what are you bringing that thing around with you for? And you see how it relates to now. People aren't human beings. It's amazing how people lack this humanity. Just can't do it. Aren't capable of it. And it's amazing. It's fucking amazing. It really fucking is. To see how people in Vietnam lost everything. Especially in the movie when burn victim guy, first of all, shoots Willem Dafoe. Shoots him. And then lies about him being dead. Like, he assumes he's dead, right? He thinks he's dead. He probably is dead. But he sees him, he shoots him. And then part 2 is like, we got to check if he's alive. No, he's dead. He's dead. He's that confident. And they're flying up above. And then there's that scene with the music, and he's running away from these bad guys. It's like that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean when Johnny Depp's running away from all those guys to get to the ship. I think that was Pirates of the Caribbean too. And you just have to think that in that moment when you're in that chopper, are you still that confident? Are you still that sure of yourself? That's as the kids would say, confident in your masculinity. I can still be gay. Those 2 movies are great. The Plane didn't have much. But American History X, that's a movie. To me, that's a fucking movie where I felt something. The ending was good. I loved what it was about. I loved how the character changed for the better. That's the nice thing about a movie. It's like it was only 2 hours, so I didn't really connect with them. If it was a show, it'd be a totally different thing. But Platoon was good. It wasn't as modern like that. That was from the 80s. At least with American History X, I was playing one of those like movie quiz games where you see the picture of a movie, but you have to guess like what it is, you know? And I still remember it was the guy with all the tattoos on his chest there. And sorry, sorry. And I think that's why I watched it in the first place. I saw on the way to Portugal. I took TAP, whatever that stands for. Through Air Portugal or Traveling Air Portugal. I'm not even sure. And that's why I watched it in the first place. Platoon was great. The commentary at the very end was very poetic. You know what I mean? And it was really good. But I don't know. There was something about American History X where it felt like a short movie, where it was black and white, and it felt quick. That movie flew by, but Platoon felt kind of long. Yeah, felt kind of stretched out there. It was amazing, based on something much more real. I love when a movie's kind of boring because you look in different corners and you kind of like you look for things, you know. But yeah, just want to make this quick. I'm not really here to rate a movie, just here to talk about a movie. I liked American History X much more. It felt like a nice short movie, like one at a festival. You know what I mean? Platoon is great, but it's something you watch in a theater or friends, not really by yourself. But American History X, definitely something you can watch by yourself. Feels kind of good. There's that, that intimacy, that connection there, and it was really good. Like, I haven't seen a movie that made me feel that way since maybe Lighthouse. Before that, ugh, my God, I don't even know. The movie came out in '98. I thought it would come out like 2004 or whatever. But goodbye for now. See you later.